Hello students, in this segment we are going to discuss about the spinal cord and reflex action. As all of you know that spinal cord is a part of the central nervous system and it is one long rope-like collection of nerve fibers which run along the full length inside the spine, and it is housed in a hollow tube called the spinal column. This diagram it shows that its one part is connected with the medulla oblongata of the brain and another is free at the tail end. It consists of collections of axons running from the brain to the rest of the body through pathways in the peripheral nervous system. Spinal nerves branch out from the spinal cord between each pair of vertebrae in the spinal column. They eventually connect with sensory receptors through the body and also with muscles and glands. Its structure all along its length is similar. The butterfly-shaped mass of gray matter present in the center of the spinal cord contains association neuron and other cells. Surrounding the gray matter is the white matter of the spinal cord, which is composed of ascending and descending neural tracts. Now these tracts actually are the collections of nerve fibers and they connect the brain with the rest of the body. Now the spinal cord plays the role of a huge cable which exchanges innumerable messages with the central nervous system. Now there are two main functions of the spinal cord. First one is it carries sensory impulses coming from the lower parts of the body to the brain and motor impulses originating from the brain to all over the body. And second one is it performs some simple reflexes that do not involve the brain. Now simple reflexes involve a sensory nerve, a motor nerve and the association neurons of the gray matter of the spinal cord. Now damage to the nerves of the spinal cord can result in paralysis of the legs or trunk, depending on how high up on spinal cord is the damage. So next topic is the reflex action. Actually, the simplest circuits in our nervous system are reflex arcs, which may involve only sensory neuron and motor neuron in the spinal cord. In certain situations, however, these 2 plus an interneuron between these two in the spinal cord may also be involved that make connections with the brain. Reflex arcs provide for automatic and rapid responses to specific types of stimulation. The reflex system operates largely independent of brain involvement. So, reflex is an involuntary action that occurs very quickly after its specific kind of stimulation. The reflex action takes place automatically without conscious decision of the brain. Now, reflex actions are inherited in our nervous system through evolutionary processes. For example, the eye blinking reflex. Whenever any object suddenly comes near our eyes, our eyelids blink. Reflexes actually serve to protect the organism from potential threats and preserve life. Some reflex actions are performed by our nervous system. And breathing is a higher level reflex. One can hold his breath voluntarily, but once the carbon dioxide level of the blood becomes too high, the medulla reacts reflexively and breathing resumes. In some reflexes, several interneurons may be also involved. For example, the pupil contraction reflex involves several interneurons that inform the brain about the intensity of light. Pain withdrawal reflex involves an interneuron that involves the brain about the pain. Now, some other examples of familiar reflexes are the knee jerk, then pulling away from very hot or cold objects, breathing, stretching, and most reflex actions are carried out by the spinal cord and do not involve the brain. But in some cases, brain also is involved. For example, if your hand gets stuck in a car door while closing and you could not pull it free, the reflex action is not sufficient to pull your hand free. The information in such a situation travels to the brain for the solution of the problem. Thank you.